We removed artificial food dyes from our child's life, and so can you.
In the world of food, what we see on our plates often hides a lot of secrets.
My first bite!
From the farm to the factory, the journey of our everyday food is covered in processes and practices that are rarely discussed. What if the foods you love most come with hidden stories that would make you think twice before taking another bite? What secrets might be lurking behind the bright packaging and tantalizing flavors? Join us as we unravel 20 foods you'll never buy again after knowing how they are made. Number 20. Instant noodles. Instant noodles, popular among college students and busy professionals for their affordability and quick cooking time, may lose their charm once you learn about how they're made and their nutritional content. To create these noodles, wheat flour is mixed with water, salt, and alkaline agents to form cabbage. This cabbage is then rolled out, cut into thin tape, and steamed. To make them shelf-stable, the noodles are fried in hot oil to remove moisture, which results in a high-fat content. The seasoning packets that come with instant noodles often contain large amounts of sodium and artificial flavorings like monosodium glutamate (MSG). High sodium intake is linked to hypertension and other health issues, while MSG can cause headaches and vomiting in some people. Instant noodles are also low in fiber, vitamins, and minerals, offering little nutritional value. The lack of nutrients, combined with high levels of sodium and unhealthy fats, makes instant noodles a poor dietary choice, especially when eaten regularly. Additionally, the production of instant noodles raises environmental concerns. Palm oil, commonly used in the frying process, drives deforestation and the loss of habitats for endangered species such as orangutans and tigers. Furthermore, the plastic packaging and disposable utensils often included with instant noodles contribute to plastic pollution. To make a more environmentally friendly and health-conscious choice, consumers might consider whole grain, pasta, rice, or other more nutritious and less processed alternatives. Number 19. Orange juice. Making orange juice at home is incredibly easy. It's as simple as squeezing some fresh oranges and enjoying the juice. You might think that big companies do the same, but on a much larger scale. But that's not usually the case. While some orange juice manufacturers do use real oranges, many don't stop there. To make their juice last longer, these companies store it in massive vats and remove all the oxygen. This process keeps the juice from spoiling for up to a year. However, taking out the oxygen also takes away the natural orange flavor. To fix this, companies add something called flavor packs. These packs are made from chemicals found in orange essence and oils, similar to those used in perfumes. Essentially, they are artificial flavors designed to make the juice taste like oranges again. So if you have fresh oranges, use them to make your own juice. This way you know that what you're drinking is pure orange juice without any added chemicals or artificial flavors. Number 18. Chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets, a popular choice for fast food and frozen snacks in America, lose their appeal once you discover how they are made. The meat often comes from leftover parts of the chicken remains, which are put through grinders to extract any usable meat. During this mechanical process, less desirable parts like skin and cartilage can also end up in the mix, resulting in a rather unappealing paste-like substance. This mixture is then combined with fillers to improve texture, artificial flavors to enhance taste, and various preservatives. Afterward, it's shaped into nuggets, battered, and deep-fried. But here's some bad news about chicken nuggets. They are terrible for you. Researchers from the American Journal of Medicine randomly selected nuggets from 2 different national fast food chains and analyzed their contents. The findings were alarming. Only half of the nuggets were actually made of chicken meat. The rest consisted of fat, bone, nerve, and connective tissue. Chicken nuggets are mostly fat, and their name is quite misleading. As you might guess, chicken nuggets contain high levels of sodium, fats, and other unhealthy additives. And that's not even mentioning the chlorine-washed chicken, which is often used. Number 17. Beaver-flavored ice cream. Ice cream is a favorite treat for many people. It comes in various flavors and can be topped with sprinkles, making it a delightful comfort food. But if you particularly enjoy vanilla ice cream, you might be in for a shock. When you taste that creamy vanilla taste, you could be consuming something unexpected: beaver secretions. It's not as straightforward as it sounds, though. The vanilla flavor in some ice creams comes from a substance called castoreum, which helps enhance the flavor. Castoreum is derived from the castor sacs of beavers, which are located near their tails. While not all vanilla flavorings use this ingredient, a significant amount does. Interestingly, because castoreum is so prized for its flavor, beavers were once nearly hunted to extinction. Fortunately, this practice has been greatly reduced, saving the beaver population. However, knowing this might just cool your craving for vanilla ice cream. Number 16, canned meat. Canned meat products usually contain low-quality cuts of meat, such as pork shoulder or beef brisket, which are ground up and mixed with water, salt, sugar, and various additives, including sodium nitrite, as a preservative and flavor enhancer. Sodium nitrite, while preventing bacterial growth and giving the meat its pink color, can form harmful compounds called nitrosamines when cooked at high temperatures. This mixture is then cooked, cooled, and bottled under high pressure to create an airtight seal and extend its shelf life. Eating processed meats, including bottled varieties, has been linked to a higher risk of chronic health issues like heart disease, obesity, and certain types of cancer. The World Health Organization classifies processed meats as Group 1 carcinogens, meaning there is strong evidence they can cause cancer. The high levels of sodium and preservatives in canned meat products contribute to these health concerns, with excessive sodium intake being a major risk factor for high blood pressure and cardiovascular diseases. Beyond health risks, the production of bottled meat has environmental and ethical implications. Factory farming practices used to raise animals for meat production contribute significantly to deforestation, greenhouse gas emissions, and other forms of environmental harm. Livestock farming accounts for about 14.5% of global greenhouse gas emissions, mainly due to methane produced by cattle. Additionally, the large-scale use of antibiotics in factory farming to promote growth and prevent disease contributes to the rise of antibiotic-resistant bacteria, posing a serious public health threat. Choosing unprocessed, sustainably sourced meats or plant-based alternatives can be a more responsible and health-conscious decision. These options not only support better health, but also reduce the negative impact on the environment and promote more humane treatment of animals. Number 15. Canned tomatoes. Having plenty of canned tomatoes might make pasta dishes so convenient. Surprisingly, it's not the tomatoes themselves that are the problem. They're just innocent victims in all of this. The real issue lies in the packaging. Many cans are lined with a substance that can leach a toxic chemical known as bisphenol A, or BPA, into the food. Because tomatoes are so acidic, this extracting process happens even faster. BPA exposure has been linked to numerous health issues, including hormonal disruptions, organ malformations, sperm defects, and increased rates of mental disabilities. A survey by the Centers for Disease Control found detectable levels of BPA in about 93% of urine samples from people aged 6 and over. While most experts believe that the amount of BPA in the average canned food is not enough to significantly increase the risk of disease, it's definitely something to consider. It might be worth preserving your own tomatoes and using glass jars instead. Number 14. Hot dogs. Hot dogs aren't made from the prime cuts of meat. Instead, they're crafted from what's called meat trimmings, leftover bits from animals like pigs, cows, chickens, turkeys, and even sheep. These trimmings include parts like animal skin, bones, collagen, cartilage, liver, blood vessels, head meat, fat, and sometimes even feet. If the label on your hot dog lists a variety of meats or byproducts, it could even contain lips, eyes, mucus, and brains. Here's how it all comes together. The leftover meat is cooked and then ground into a paste-like substance known as meat batter. At this stage, manufacturers add high amounts of sodium, preservatives, starch, food coloring, and flavorings. Sodium nitrate, which gives hot dogs their pink color, is also added. Numerous studies have found sodium nitrate to be potentially cancer-causing. This chemical helps preserve the meat and prevents foodborne disease, but it also contributes to health risks. Processed meats with nitrates are linked to a 15% increased risk of death from all causes, and unprocessed meats with nitrates show a 16% greater risk. Next, the meat batter is packed into casings to shape the hot dogs. These casings can be made from cellulose, which is a type of wood pulp, or they might be actual animal intestines. Number 13, goat cheese. In ancient times and even today, cheese starts with goats, not their milk, but their stomachs. Just like using every part of a buffalo, early goat farmers used the stomachs of goats as containers for milk. This method might seem unappetizing, but it was quite effective. However, if the farmer didn't transfer the milk quickly enough, it would start to sour. This process resulted in thickens, which we now know as cheese gums, delicious and edible. While goats are often credited with this method of cheese making, it could have also started with sheep, cows, and other animals. The key discovery was that the goat's stomach helped transform milk into cheese, leading to larger and more sophisticated cheese production over time. Number 12, soda. A common and well-loved drink might lose some of its charm once you know more about what's inside and how it affects your health and the environment. This beverage is mostly made of carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup, HFCS or other sweeteners, artificial flavors, and various additives like preservatives, coloring agents, and caffeine. The high sugar content in soda is linked to health issues such as fatness, type 2 diabetes, and tooth decay. Diet soda, which uses artificial sweeteners instead of sugar, is associated with an increased risk of metabolic syndrome, heart disease, and other health problems. Soda production also has a significant impact on the environment. Large-scale corn farming for HFCS leads to deforestation, pesticide use, and fertilizer runoff, which can pollute water sources and harm ecosystems. The production, transportation, and disposal of plastic soda bottles and aluminum cans contribute to pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. Additionally, water usage in soda production is a concern in areas facing water scarcity, with 1 liter of soda requiring 2 to 4 liters of water depending on the manufacturing process. Given these health and environmental issues, consumers might consider choosing healthier and more sustainable options like water, herbal tea, or homemade fruit-infused drinks. Number 11, packaged meat. Imagine walking into the meat section of your local grocery store. You're faced with a choice. Would you prefer the meat that's dark brown or the one that's bright red and looks fresh? Most people would choose the fresh-looking red meat. However, that bright red meat might not actually be any fresher than the brown one. It could simply contain carbon monoxide. Many meat producers add small, supposedly harmless amounts of carbon monoxide to their products. This gas keeps the meat looking red for over 20 days. On the other hand, if you peep into the meat display at your local butcher, you'll notice that their meat, which usually doesn't contain carbon monoxide, only stays red for a few days. Consumers want their meat to look fresh, so producers use this trick to meet that demand. The issue is that even meat that is rotting and unsafe to eat can appear as if it was just freshly cut. It's only when consumers open the package that they realize something is wrong because the meat doesn't smell right. CalSec, a small company based in Kalamazoo, Michigan, has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars battling food regulators and meat producers over the use of carbon monoxide. They argue that consumers, who often decide which meat to buy based on its color, can be misled into purchasing older spoiled meat. Instead of using carbon monoxide, CalSec employs natural colorings, herbs and spices, including rosemary extract, to keep meat looking red. Although this method keeps the meat red for only half as long as the carbon monoxide method, it is a safer alternative for consumers. Number 10, insect fragments, rat hair, and chocolate. It's one thing to accidentally find human hair in your food, but it's a whole other issue when insect parts and rat hair are intentionally allowed in your chocolate. Every bite of that dark chocolate you enjoy could contain over 30 insect parts and a sprinkling of rat hair. This isn't just a random claim. It comes straight from the FDA's Food Defect Handbook. According to Title 21 of the Code of Federal Regulations, the Food and Drug Administration (FDA) sets maximum levels of natural or unavoidable defects in food that pose no health hazards to humans. For those still in doubt or shock, the FDA provides clear guidelines on how much insect and rodent contamination is permitted in chocolate. For example, they allow up to 60 insect fragments and 1 rat hair per 100 grams of chocolate. Number 9, fish beer. Beer is something universal, part of our world for better or worse. When consumed excessively, its negative effects are clear. However, when brewed with care, each glass refined to perfection, it's hard not to appreciate its quality. Beer making is diverse, with many methods contributing to a great brew, which adds to the fun. One surprising ingredient used in beer production comes from fish bladders. This substance, called isinglass, has been used since the 19th century. It serves as a refining agent that makes the beer bright, clear, and visually appealing. Isinglass is derived from the swim bladders of fish, primarily large ancient fish, and has been crucial in the brewing process because it helps to remove yeast and other impurities from the beer. The history of beer brewing dates back thousands of years, with evidence of beer production in ancient Mesopotamia around 5000 BCE. Over time, the techniques and ingredients have evolved significantly. In the Middle Ages, monks in European religious houses played a key role in advancing brewing methods, and many of their practices are still in use today. The Reinheitsgebot, or German beer purity law of 1516, dictated that beer could only be made from water, barley, and hops, which influenced brewing standards for centuries. Isinglass, introduced in the 19th century, improved the clarity and quality of beer, making it more appealing to consumers. We all want a beer that's both delicious and beautiful, and isinglass helps achieve that. However, its origin from fish poses an issue for those who avoid fish products for dietary, ethical, or religious reasons. Number 8. Margarine. Margarine, a widely used alternative to butter, has a manufacturing process and ingredient list that might make some people rethink their choice. It's mainly made from vegetable oils like soybean, canola, or palm oil, which are liquid at room temperature. To turn these oils into a solid, spreadable form, they go through a process called hydrogenation. This process adds hydrogen molecules to the oil, changing its structure and making it more solid. However, partial hydrogenation can create hydrogenated fat, which are linked to higher risks of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. Today, many margarine producers use alternative methods like intraesterification to cut down or eliminate hydrogenated fats. Despite this, there are still concerns about the health effects of these methods and their byproducts. Margarine also contains various additives such as separating, preservatives, and artificial colors to improve its taste, texture, and appearance. Some margarine products are enriched with vitamins A and D to mimic the nutritional benefits of butter. The environmental impact of producing vegetable oils, especially palm oil, is significant. Palm oil production is a major cause of deforestation, destruction of habitats, and greenhouse gas emissions. For a healthier and more eco-friendly option, consumers might consider butter from grass-fed cows or plant-based spreads made from minimally processed ingredients. Number 7. Chewing gum. You might be surprised to learn what goes into your everyday chewing gum. For instance, did you know that sheep's wool can be a part of your chewing experience? It's not as odd as it sounds. Some chewing gum contains lanolin, a colorless substance produced by sheep's sebaceous glands. Lanolin helps keep their wool waterproof, and it's also a common ingredient in skincare products. It's used in gum to add the right amount of chewiness. You might not see lanolin listed on the ingredients label, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Besides lanolin, gum typically includes flavorings, sweeteners, a gum base, and softeners. The gum base could come from various sources: the latex liquid of the sapodilla tree, natural resins, food-grade agar, or other materials. Nowadays, synthetic materials like synthetic rubber, polyethylene, and glycerol esters are often used to create the gum base. But don't rush to give up chewing gum just yet. It can have surprising benefits. You can find gum that offers medicinal functions, such as pain relief, heartburn relief, or even products designed to help you quit smoking, provide nutrition, and prevent tooth decay. Number 6. Chickens and their eggs. It's quite common to taste various chicken parts in different ways. Whether it's grabbing crispy fried chicken wings from KFC, slow-cooking chicken breasts in a crock pot, snacking on chicken nuggets, or preparing chicken eggs in countless creative recipes. The diversity of chicken dishes is truly impressive. However, what might shock you is the grim reality behind preparing these chickens and eggs. And I'm not just referring to the untidiness of handling raw poultry. I'm talking about the often harrowing conditions found on many chicken farms around the world. These conditions can be quite distressing. For instance, on factory farms, chickens are frequently kept in overcrowded cages so tight that they can barely move. In some cases, these chickens are confined to battery cages, each measuring about the size of a sheet of paper, where they can't even spread their wings. These farms often lack natural light, leading to a stark and unnatural environment for the birds. Even more troubling are the reports from animal rights groups about inhumane treatment. Some investigations have revealed that chickens endure severe neglect, including physical abuse and extreme confinement. In some cases, the birds are subjected to painful procedures like beak trimming without anesthesia, intended to prevent them from pecking each other in overcrowded conditions. Moreover, there are concerns about the environmental impact of large-scale chicken farming. These farms can produce significant amounts of waste, which often contaminates local water supplies and contributes to environmental decline. The use of antibiotics in poultry farming is also a major issue, leading to concerns about antibiotic-resistant bacteria that can affect human health. Now it's time for today's subscriber's pick. In the heart of Rivertown, a small yet bustling community known for its vibrant markets and charming eateries, the discovery of a disturbing secret began to unravel. A local journalist named Margarine, known for her determination and passion for uncovering the truth, had stumbled upon an anonymous tip about the origins of certain packaged meats sold in her town. Intrigued and driven by curiosity, Emma decided to delve deeper into the matter. Emma started by investigating the origins of the popular gourmet beef patties and succulent chicken nuggets, two of the town's favorite packaged meats. What she found was both shocking and unsettling. Hidden away in a warehouse on the outskirts of town, Emma discovered a world that was anything but appetizing. The warehouse, though outwardly unremarkable, held a series of secretive production lines. Behind closed doors, the process involved an unsettling blend of technology and deception. Large, seemingly sterile machines were actually repurposed from old industrial equipment, modified to stir out a product that bore little resemblance to natural meat. The process began with the collection of scraps and remnants from various sources. These remnants were then blended with artificial flavors, preservatives, and dyes to create the semblance of a high-quality meat product. Determined to expose the truth, Emma compiled her findings into a compelling exposé, complete with interviews, photographs, and first-hand accounts. The article rocked Rivertown, leading to widespread outrage and a surge in public demand for transparency in food production. The town's beloved packaged meats were pulled from shelves, and a movement for greater accountability in the food industry gained momentum. How does the discovery of the truth about these packaged meats impact the way you view processed foods in general? What are some ways communities can ensure better transparency and accountability in food production? Let's know your thoughts and comments below. Number 5. Commercial white bread. Commercial white bread, a common choice in many households, might lose its charm when you learn about how it's made and what it's made of. The bread is created using refined wheat flour, which has had the grain and germ removed during milling. This process takes out many essential nutrients and fibers found in whole grains. What's left is mostly the starchy endosperm, which can cause sharp spikes and drops in blood sugar levels due to its high glycemic index. To make the bread look and feel better, manufacturers often add things like preservatives and dough conditioners and blending. These ingredients help to improve the texture, extend the bread's shelf life, and speed up production. Some white bread also includes high-fruit sugar corn syrup or other sugars to make it taste sweeter and have a better texture. Eating too much refined grain, like those in white bread, can lead to health problems such as fatness, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. The lack of fiber in white bread can also lead to digestive issues and make it harder to manage your weight. From an environmental standpoint, producing commercial white bread uses a lot of resources. It requires substantial amounts of water, energy, and chemicals like pesticides and fertilizers to grow and process the wheat. Choosing whole grain bread or other options made from less processed grains can be a healthier and more eco-friendly choice. Number 4. Jelly beans. Jelly beans are a delightful treat enjoyed by people of all ages. We're frequently warned not to overindulge in them due to their high sugar content. However, there's another reason you might reconsider eating too much. Believe it or not, jelly beans contain a surprising ingredient. The shiny coating on jelly beans is often made from shellac, which comes from the secretions of a female insect called the lac bug. These bugs, native to Thailand and India, produce shellac by excreting a substance as they feed on tree plant fluid. The substance is collected from tree branches, processed into flakes, dissolved in ethanol, and then sprayed onto various products, including jelly beans. Shellac is not only used on candy, but also on apples to give them a glossy finish, and even in non-food items like hardwood flooring. This ingredient is particularly concerning for fruitarians and vegetarians, as shellac is derived from an animal byproduct and is usually listed on ingredient labels as E904 rather than its more unappealing name. Number 3. Bug dye. Many of the dyes used around the world come from sources you might not expect. You might assume these dyes are made from chemicals, but often they actually come from animals, and sometimes from bugs. In fact, this bug-derived dye is so common that you might have encountered it in some of your favorite products, including those from places like Starbucks. Starbucks is among many companies that have used this bug dye, but they didn't reveal it to their customers until someone discovered the truth. The dye in question comes from a specific type of bug, female insects. This dye, known as carmine, has been used for centuries, with its origins tracing back to the Aztecs. When Europeans encountered the Aztecs, they learned that this extract could create vibrant colors that lasted much longer than other dyes. Today, while carmine is still used to color various products, including food and drinks, there is a growing backlash against it. Many people are uncomfortable with the idea of consuming something derived from insects, and some even have allergic reactions to it. As a result, companies like Starbucks have begun to phase out this dye in favor of alternatives. Number 2. Farmed shrimp. Shrimp farming might look like a better choice than wild-caught shrimp, but there are some serious concerns. Many shrimp farms are located in countries with weak environmental regulations, which can lead to troubling practices. For instance, farms often overstock their ponds, and to deal with diseases and parasites, they use antibiotics and chemicals. These substances can pollute nearby rivers and coastal areas, harming local aquatic life. Moreover, the clearing of mangrove forests to create shrimp ponds is a big problem. Mangroves help protect coastlines from erosion, support a diverse range of species, and play a role in reducing greenhouse gases. When these forests are destroyed, it leads to more erosion, loss of biodiversity, and increased greenhouse gases. Another issue is that farmed shrimp are usually fed fish meal made from wild-caught fish. This not only adds to overfishing, but also disrupts marine ecosystems. Additionally, there are serious human rights concerns within the shrimp farming industry, including forced labor and human trafficking. To make a more responsible seafood choice, look for shrimp certified by organizations like the Marine Stewardship Council, MSC, or the Aquaculture Stewardship Council, ASC. These certifications ensure that the shrimp are farmed in an environmentally friendly and socially responsible way. Number 1. Pringles. You might think that the most surprising thing about a can of Pringles is how impossible it is to fit your hand in there to grab those last few chips. But the real shocker is how unhealthy they are and how they're not even real potato chips. The Pringles company wanted to avoid paying extra taxes on luxury foods, so they argued that their chips had so little potato content that they didn't technically qualify as potato chips. Instead, Pringles are made from a mix of rice, wheat, corn, and potato flakes. This mixture is turned into manure, which is then pressed into sheets and cut into the familiar shapes that fit perfectly into the narrow can. After cutting, the chips are curved, fried in boiling oil, dried, and coated with powdered flavors. On top of that, there's another unsettling fact: the presence of cancer-causing chemicals. While acrylamide isn't intentionally added to Pringles, it's still there. Acrylamide forms when foods high in carbohydrates are cooked at high temperatures, like when they're fried, baked, or roasted. This chemical isn't only found in potato chips or French fries, but also in many other processed snacks, roasted cereals, and even bread crusts. So the fact that Pringles aren't made from real potatoes is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to concerns about these chips. Which one of these 20 foods you'll never buy again after knowing how they are made? Do you find highly intriguing? Share your thoughts and comments below.